Alright, let's do this. So, got this file here. Just a bunch of pictures from my DSLR camera, so they're pretty big files. 10 gigs, 1590 files. And I want to save storage on my hard drive, so I'm going to reduce those. Got a few samples here that we'll look at the end to see the difference in quality. So go to Google, search image resizer Windows, and you're going to want to click this first link as of today, brycelim.net. Click this download button. Open the exe. Agree. Install. I got a Windows message saying, do you really want to install? And it's going to start recording. It might take a couple minutes. I'm going to pause it right now and come back. Alright, just wanted to fast forward that, not pause. So the installation successfully completed. Click close. Now you don't have to open any programs or anything. If you go to your pictures now though, any picture file, when you right click, you'll see this Resize Pictures option here. So if you just want to do a single picture, go ahead and click that. But if you want to do all of them at once, which is what I'm going to do, I want to do every picture in this trips folder. Go into the trips folder, search in the box .jpeg, or whatever type of pictures yours are. And it's found here 1585, so there's probably a few small video files in there somewhere. Control A to select all, and then right click, Resize Pictures. And you can set these options however you want them. I'm going to do large because it's still going to be a huge savings compared to the original. My original pixels are 6,000 times 4,000. So I'm going to do this large. You might notice this ratio is a little different. 1920 to 1080 is not 3 to 2 like 6,000 to 4,000 is. But it will do it properly. What it'll end up doing is doing 1624 by 1080. Since mine are ratioed differently than this screen. But you can choose whichever ones you want there. Make pictures smaller but not larger. Probably won't make a difference for the most part. I'm gonna check it in case I have little screenshot files in there. I don't want it doing weird stuff with that. Resize the original pictures. Don't create copies. Pretty self-explanatory. I am going to actually resize the original pictures. I don't want it to make copies, so I'm going to leave that checked. Ignore the orientation of pictures. I just let this check and it seems to do it the way I want it, so I'm going to leave that checked for now. And then resize. So I'm working on a solid state hard drive right now on a fairly new computer, so this might be a little faster than what you're going to see if you're on an older machine. I'm going to pause the recording and come back in a few minutes when it's about done. Alright, and we're done. I got a warning for a few pictures. Not sure, just weird files I guess I had. Maybe edited already or something. But that was 3 pictures out of 1590, not too concerned. And let's see what we got. So now if we look at this trips folder, 628 meg. So we went from 9.83 gig to 628 meg. That's less than 10% of the storage space it was before. And if you chose one of the other options, small or medium, it's going to be even substantially smaller. And you might be kind of surprised by that. Given that the pixels, but the reason, even though they seem kind of similar, in reality, the original had 24 million pixels, and these new ones are going to have 1.8 million per photo. So it's about 7% of the original pixels the number of pixels in total, and that's why it's about that ratio of hard drive space. So if we're going to look at these samples, so let me first show you the original, I guess. So here's a photo. Yeah, so this is the original here. Good looking picture. Looks like a DSLR picture with the aperture and everything. That's the original. This is the new one. So you might not even be able to see any difference, and you shouldn't be able to really when you're looking at it from this size. This is just to show that when it's vertical, it doesn't matter. That's the new one. And there's your original. So the orientation didn't matter with the settings I had. And then this last one. So here's a picture where there's some background people, and this is where you're going to see the difference. So if you care about this, that's what you need to consider when you're choosing whether you want to resize or not. So looking at the original, let's just pick somebody, and let's pick this little girl. So in the original, you can zoom in pretty far, and even though she's in the background of the image, you can see her face pretty clearly. She's got a little unicorn around her eyes. And if we go to the reduced size picture, same thing. Looks pretty good when you're looking at it from here, but if you want to zoom in on her, that's as far as it'll let me zoom in. So it really become even more blurry if you were to zoom in further digitally. And as you can see, her face, you can still tell it's her, but not quite as clear what's going on here. So that's going to be the difference in these reduced size images. What I'm actually going to end up doing is taking all my trip pictures, trying to find maybe the 50 or so best from each trip, and leave those the original size. And also leave any landscapes or something where you would want to zoom in, leave those the original size, and just reduce everything else. Because when you go on these trips, take hundreds of pictures, really, how many of those are you really going to want to look back at? And that's why I do it that way, just to save hard drive space. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Click like if this helped you. And all right, peace.